Swastiastu. Hello everyone, I'm the first presenter. Will be present about the concept, branches, and relationship of the semantic and pragmatics. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rico Wirawan. My name is 19771027 and my student number is 11. I'm on the 5th semester. I will present about the concept and the branches also, and the last is for the relationship, how to distinguish semantics and the pragmatics. So okay, now we jump into the brief approaches of semantic and pragmatics. Brief approaches of semantic and pragmatic that you can see here according to the book, which title is an introduction to English semantics and pragmatics, which is by the Griffiths 2006, says that semantics and pragmatics are the branches of linguistics, and these two can be classified as the study of meaning. So more explanation in this section is semantic is the device. Remember, semantic is the device for meaning. So it means semantics is the device for meaning which is encoded in vocabulary, and within the pattern build more complicated meanings until to the degree of sentence meaning. And then for the pragmatics itself is, even as semantics, we concern about the device of meaning which encoded in the vocabulary. Different story in the pragmatics, because in here we're stressing on the use of these tools. What do I mean by these tools? Is the tools actually is the semantic representations. How we use the tools in here in the meaningful communication. In simple words, it's more like a interaction of semantic knowledge with our knowledge of the world, with considering of the context of use. What do I mean by the context in here? It's more like how you give give your returns to somebody else. For example, you say I'm off to work, and that's the representation of pragmatics, because you turns your idea. And for semantic, you write the word I'm off to work. I'm off to work. That's totally meaning. There's totally different meaning between these two. So that's the explanation of the semantics and the pragmatics. And then I think that's all the explanation of the brief approaches of semantics and pragmatics. Now we move to the concept of semantics and pragmatics. We come to the concept of semantics and pragmatics. Now we can from my slides you can see of the concept of semantic and pragmatics, and you can also see the description of the concept of semantics and pragmatic as well. So the on the concept of semantic and pragmatics, I will explain. Actually, I found one article that explain about the concept of semantics and pragmatics. Says that semantics is the study concerning relation between words and how we pulling the meaning of the words. People can understand it in the different ways, and take the different meaning as well. Few examples of semantic will help you to see many meanings from the words of English. Semantics also involve the construction of words, sign, pattern, or structure of a sentence. For this matter, it affects our understanding of what people said in daily conversation. Furthermore, semantic it has a vital role in verbal confabulations, grasping, and daily routine language study of ours without us knowing. On the other hand, pragmatics is the study of utterances of meaning, which involves utterances that meaning an event. The purposely act from the interlocutor at time and place usually involve languages. Logic and semantic will deal with the property of expressions. Normally, pragmatic is characterizing by dealing with the effects of context. It can be said which says connects with utterances if someone collectively, referring to all facts that can vary from utterances to utterance as context. Because of the term, because this term commonly be used in limited meanings. Jadi maksudnya di sini di semantics dan di pragmatics konsepnya itu tuh adalah kalau semantics itu adalah study of meaning. Jadi kayak study of meaning itu maksudnya di sini adalah kita mempelajari arti dari kata-kata atau unit-unit kecil yang ada di dalam sentence. Dan pragmatics itu adalah kita mempelajari meaning dari pengucapan. Jadi apa yang kita ucapkan itu adalah bentuk pragmatics, dan terus di dalam sentence yang kita ucapkan itu ada unit-unit kecil atau biasa disebut vocabulary, itu yang biasanya kita pelajari di paling awal itu di daily conversation pasti kita menemukan kata ini. Oh, jadi kalau arti ini di dalam kamus itu jadi ini. Itu yang dinamakan semantics. Kalau pragmatics itu adalah ucapan itu tuh tergantung artinya. Kenapa saya dibilang di sini? Because of the term context. Because this term may commonly be used in a limited meanings. Betul sekali, karena meanings itu kalau dicampur dengan konteks yang kita, maksudnya konteks ini adalah bagaimana kita mengucapkan kalimat itu, sentence itu tuh bagaimana kita mengucapkannya, itu bisa melimitkan meaningnya. Jadi mungkin kamu berbicara tentang I'm off to work itu jadinya kalau kamu mengucapkan itu dengan nada biasa aja, konteksnya biasa aja, meaningnya bisa banyak. Dan kalau kamu mengkontekskannya itu lebih spesifik atau mukamu seperti kayak marah atau mungkin terburu-buru, jadi orang tuh bisa menginterpretasikan kalau kamu tuh mau kerja tapi dalam keadaan terburu-buru nih gitu. Kalau kamu like so feel or look in a hurry, people can meaning your word reflect to your context as the you off to work in a hurry, but your sentence you only said off to work. So that's the concept of semantics and pragmatics. I hope you get the point. Actually, you don't have to remember all, because in our presentation we only discussed just a general definition of concept of semantics and pragmatics, and that all the information that I can deliver of semantics and pragmatics. Now we move to the we are going to move deeper about the relationship of the semantic and pragmatics. I'm sorry if I don't explain about the branches of semantics and pragmatics, because these two is considered as a meaning. Now for the branches of the semantic itself, also for the pragmatics, will be explained by the second presenter, which is the explanation of types of meaning. In types of meaning there are 7. Not all the 7 are the meaning of pragmatics. Some of them owned by the semantics and the rest owned by the pragmatics. For that explanation will be explained by the second presenter, which is he will give you the further explanation of types of meaning and also the branches of the semantic and pragmatics indirectly. So now we move to the relation of semantic and pragmatic. Now we've come to the relation of the semantic and pragmatics. For the relation of semantic and pragmatics, you already know from the concept what is the semantic is, what is the pragmatic is. Semantic is the study of a smaller unit in a sentence, and also for the pragmatic is the study of meaning of utterances. Now, I have one example that can reflect your understanding very well, and also you can manage yourself to distinguish between semantic and pragmatics in one example. As you can see here, I put a picture which is the one word that I take directly from the book of Griffith 2006. Let me read it for you. Semantic information and pragmatic consideration in the interpretation of example. Jadi kita tarik aja di sini. The example in here is your arm. That's it. Your arm. That's it. For the semantic, we will divide. They are you, your arm, and that is it. If we find the example, find the definition of each word that it calls semantics. For example, arm, upper limb. In semantics, it's upper limb or horizontal sidebar of some type of chair. So it means like our arm, it's more like a chair, the horizontal sidebar. Jika kamu ngelihat kursi yang ada seperti horizontalnya bentuk ke bawah gitu, itu seperti our arm, like this. That's the explanation of the semantics. For your arm in here, jadi maksudnya di sini tuh kayak tangan kamu ini maksudnya upper limb, your arm. And that is denotes something is happen. Something obviously in the situation. If there's a situation, the word that is stressing on the something in that situation. For the is equates to or in other words is equal to, and for it is usually denotes something is previously mentioned. Jadi maksudnya di sini ada satu kalimat itu your arm, that's it. Nah sekarang kita gimana ya, maksudnya lebih ke dipotong kalimatnya itu ada smaller unit yang harus kita considerkan sebagai semantics. Jadi kita artikan dulu apa itu arm in general way, and then also for your arm, that is, and it. That's for semantics. And for pragmatics, you can read it here. Arm in here, Mr. O's earlier question was about one wielding. So arm is most likely upper limb. Jadi maksudnya di sini adalah arm kalau di semantics adalah tangan kamu. Maksudnya itu di semantic. Kalau di pragmatics, arm di sini yang dibilang sama Mr. Ollivander ini adalah orang, maksudnya dia minta tangan kamu yang biasanya pakai untuk menyihir atau memegang tongkat gitu. Karena disitulah perbedaannya antara pragmatics and semantics. Jadi padahal dia satu kalimat, tapi yang membedakan itu kalau semantics itu ngambil satu kata itu aja. Terus kalau pragmatics dia ngambil satu kata tapi berdasarkan ucapan, berarti apa maksud ucapannya ini, kayak gitu, seperti itu. Terus yang di bawah on the below of the arm there is your arm. In pragmatics, prefer hairy hand is probably the one of wands, and Harry is right-handed. Mr. O has tape measure, and measuring Harry's arm will require access to his arm, so Mr. O wants him to extend his right upper limb. In simple words, Mr. Ollivander wants to use or measure Harry's talent by extend his upper limb to test the wand. And that is in pragmatics. If Harry just complied and moved his arm outwards, that would be a noticeable event. So the word probably denotes the act, that act. Jadi maksudnya itu dia tuh disuruh gimana ya, maksudnya disuruh memainkan tongkatnya seperti yang biasanya para penyihir lakukan. Disitulah maksudnya kata that di sini kalau di pragmatics. Kalau di semantics, that itu yang seperti biasa aja, sesuatu yang sudah jelas yang berada dalam situasi seperti itu. Jadi ada perbedaannya antara kalau satu kata cuman kalau dibawa ke semantic and pragmatic dia bakal different karena tergantung konteks pembicaranya. Kalau semantic itu hanya mau explain satu, kalau pragmatic mengexplain satu kata tergantung based on the how you turns the sentence. And the last one is equals to. There are other meanings of it, but they are not relevant here. It usually denotes something previously mentioned. It would be fit the context. Mr. Ollivander now means that Harris act with his right arm is what was wanted, so that the word it probably recalls the previous specification, and Mr. O is acknowledging Harris compliance. Jadi maksudnya di sini it di sini adalah Harry itu sudah accomplish untuk melakukan apa yang si Mr. Ollivander itu inginkan dia lakukan. Dan untuk is ini di sini itu lebih menyamai dari apa yang diminta dari si Mr. Ollivander. That itu adalah melakukan apa yang harusnya dilakukan, dan it itu adalah hal yang sudah dilakukan dari apa yang diminta, dan is itu adalah memberitahu sama dengan apa yang dilakukan dan apa yang diberitahu itu dia ada koneksi dan sama. Itulah maksudnya dari semantics dan pragmatics dalam satu example. Your arm, that's it. Gitu. Kita ambil contoh lain. Contohnya seperti I'm off to work. Jadi kalau di semantic I am, jadi I-nya itu lebih ke subjek, menyatakan orang. Kalau M-nya itu lebih kata-kata bantu, bisa kata kerja, seperti itu auxiliary verb dia. Terus off itu bisa bermakna mati, atau kayak turn off the light, maksudnya mati gitu, benar-benar turn off gitu. Kalau di semantics I'm off to work itu bisa maksudnya kamu pergi gitu. Jadi itu another explanation or another examples of the part how to distinguish semantics and pragmatics in one example, and also for the relation of the semantics and pragmatics. The relation of semantic and pragmatics is pretty same, because without semantics, pragmatics cannot be occur, and also for the pragmatics, without pragmatics, all the semantics cannot be as a sentence and cannot be pronounced, and also the pragmatics theory will not be occur right now. So that's all the explanation that I can give to you from the concept, branches, relationship, and also for the conclusion of the first part of semantic and pragmatics. And for the next explanation will be explained by the second presenter that present the types of meaning.